your shoulders and right over the arches of your feet. Pull your chin in, make that head ramp, and notice that your middle finger is right at your side seam. And just kind of take a couple of breaths. Oh, I got to fix my feet a little more because I want to turn out that way. I'm going to turn them back in. It's not as comfortable because maybe my muscles have gotten stuck the other way. But this is the alignment. If your feet are turned out, you're kind of putting pressure on the inside of your knee and when you're walking. And so that you don't have much to support that kneecap. We don't want to have any knee replacements. All right, so you're lined, and imagine that spindle right through your body, and you're just going to swing around. We said this is like in Qigong, the sounding gong, bong, bong, and feel your shoulders loosening up, and your hands are really flapping against your body. Be sure your torso is long and you're not bending over to the side. You're standing nice and tall. Oh, sort of like on a maypole. Pretty soon it'll be May Day. Oh my gosh, where did this month go? All right, let's wind down to a stop. And reach up and bend and swing down and reach up. So you're lifting your ribs. You're lengthening your mid back. You're lifting up out of the pelvis. You're pumping through your legs. Arms are by your ears. Bend and straighten. Breathe in. And one more. And then hang right there and just swing your arms. Keep your knees slightly bent, loosening up the upper part. I'm watching on the screen, so you don't have to hold your head up. You just let your arms swing back and forth. And you'll feel that middle back between your shoulder blades, the base of your shoulder blades, getting kind of loosened up. And then swing to a stop, roll up, and remember always your chin comes up last. And placing your hand on your shoulder, or we can go this way, either way, but you're bracing yourself with this other arm. We're going to stretch over to the side. Now you're going to get more of a lengthening if you use your arm, and you're not doing that. You're just propping in and reaching, like you're reaching into the back of the cabinet or something you haven't used in a long time. And you'll feel the side of your body opening up between the ribs. Now take it slightly forward. Put your hand on your front thigh and reach. And feel that shoulder blade without bending your elbow. Feel the shoulder. I'm not bending my elbow. Feel the shoulder blade slide back and forth. Ha, ha. Yeah. And then drop down. And let's do that on the other side. Brace. This is like if you had a shelf, you'd have a brace. Up. Knees are relaxed. Lift up a little higher so you're really putting space between those vertebrae. And then over to the side, and your head goes too, but it's not all slumped down. Put space between the vertebrae, space between each rib. You know, you have muscles between your ribs, those intercostal muscles. And breathe out. Now we're going to take it forward. So put your hand there so you can brace in the front. And again, you're reaching, but you're not doing that. So look at your fingertips and a little bit beyond your fingertips, because if you were reaching for something, you would look just beyond where your reach is. That's how you get there. And then bend your knees, come down, drop your head, and roll up. And let's do a little shoulder roll. Now you can watch your shirt and my shirt. And when you do a shoulder roll, you're going to get movement in that middle area. So you're bringing your elbow back by moving around, and then go the other way. Like you're rowing a boat. And there is an exercise called a row. Row, and you pull back. But you have to do it with intention. You have to use strength. So you're pulling your shoulder blades together and opening across your chest. Your arms are not down here. So relax your knees. And if you're sitting in a chair, be careful you don't hit your funny bone. And you're going to row and focusing on the back of your body. And bring your elbows back and squeeze and open and squeeze. Remember, we talked about the spine of a book. So you open the back between the shoulder blades and then you squeeze in the back. And we're going to do 5 more and squeeze it and really go forward and back and forward and back. So feel that movement forward and back, shoulders down. One more after this one. Pull it back and get that pull and squeeze and drop. Now, you can use a towel or you can use a band or you can use a broomstick. Something that is going to keep you from collapsing inward. Find your posture, align, and if you're sitting, you're fine. I'm using a towel because I want to keep it taut and not let it wimp up like that. So my shoulders are down, I'm holding on tight, and I'm pulling apart the edges of this towel. And I'm going to keep doing that. And up over my head. So my arms are right by my ears. And then behind the head, pull your elbows down. Now I'm not letting it collapse. And up, straighten your elbows out and down. And it's away from my body. So find that posture. It's up. And you can do this against a wall with your body against the wall. We're using a prop today. You don't have to, but I want you to really feel that dynamic tension of pulling apart and reaching up. Your ribs lift, your shoulder blades, and then pulling your elbows down. Last week we did the Y and W against the wall. Up, and we're going to do one more. So breathing in, lift your ribs, pull those shoulder blades down toward your waistband. And up, straighten out and down. Woo. And let's do this. This will get into the shoulders next week. So just like you're ripping something apart, and pull tight. And then pull tight. And change. Shoulders down, pull. You'll feel that dynamic tension. That's good tension. This is bad tension. That's not dynamic. And focus on your elbows. We forget about our elbows. And relax. And then rolling, rolling. And so let your whole body do that, like Tina Turner, rolling, rolling. So you feel your spine kind of rolling along. If you looked at the video that I posted with the handout from last week's class, you saw that, amazing backbone movement. I don't know, not in my lifetime, but it was amazing and beautiful, mesmerizing. All right, so that's a little bit of a start. And again, you can use a broom or a tie, but those are strengthening. And you can also come against a wall. So this is the Y and W from last week. Now this wall will collapse but pretend I'm standing with my heels against the wall and my whole body, my middle back, this part, and my head. So I'm making the double chin. All right, so we have the Y, and your arms are touching the wall. So when you do this at home, be against the wall, and you totally feel the wall. And then you feel yourself with the arms pulling down the wall to make a W. This is the YW. So you're squeezing your scapulas, and that's your shoulder blades. And you're using your latissimus dorsi to help. Pull your tops of your shoulders are pulling down. Now bring your elbows down to make the W. And keep the squeeze. Now your hands are actually touching the wall. I'm afraid to because it'll careen over. And arms are touching the wall. Make the Y. Keep your body long, knees relaxed. And bring the elbows down to make the W. And sliding up the wall, hold it, exhale, and then squeeze your shoulder blades together to bring your elbows down, and exhale, but not relaxing. You're still keeping the tension. This is our last one of these. You'll work up to 10. And the number that you'll work up to and how long you should be doing this will be in the handout. The instructions are in the handout. And then relax. And still against the wall. Your head's against the wall. Remember, your whole body is slam up against the wall. And this is a little bit different. Your fingers are together. Your thumb is right there next to your fingers. Your heels are touching the wall. And you're coming straight up. And your arms are going to touch the wall. This is like what we did with the towel, but this may be a little bit different for you. Exhale and come down so that your little finger comes down. Shoulders are down the whole time, like you have on suspenders, pulling your shoulders down. And this is not a Y, this is a straight up, like you're calling it, touchdown. And keep the arms long, lock your elbows. And relax your knees. I think my knees want to lock when I lock my elbows, but I'm not going to let that happen because that'll put pressure on my low back. Lift those ribs, pull those suspenders down, and reach out, out, out. And one more. Breathing in. While you're up here, breathe in through your nose, out through your mouth. And then arms come down and relax. Now, you may feel the remnants of that dynamic tension when you relax. That is because your muscles were contracted, and that's what strengthens the muscles. We were working on the muscles from here in towards the spine and got a little bit into the shoulders. So that one, I'm going to wait till for a minute to get on the floor. Let's do that pectoral exercise for the pecs, our chest muscles, and under our arm where our lymphatic system is. But I want you to be sure that your elbow is in line with your shoulder, not up on this one. And so you are going to, this is the one where you're against the wall. All right, let me just see if I can change this so I can have a wall. Yeah, and my elbow is in line. I'm standing straight. And my hand and my forearm are on the wall. I'm looking straight ahead. I'm in my posture. I'm not locking my knees. And then here's where you keep that there, Velcro it, and you walk your little baby steps forward. Keep this arm at your side, shoulders relaxed, and keep walking. I'm taking tiny, tiny steps because I feel that lengthening across my chest. And when you get as far as you can go, just be sure you're breathing normally. Everything is aligned. And then bring it back. And do that a couple of times on that side. Oh, that arm's a little bit longer because we've released these muscles in the front and the back of this part of the body. And that gets into the shoulder girdle a little bit. So on the other side, align your elbows in line with your shoulder, forearm and hand on the wall, and then take those baby steps forward. You may find that you have a little bit more ease and go a little bit farther, but you want to try to balance that out because we always have one side that is a little bit tighter than the other for a variety of reasons throughout our life. Oh, I'm walking into the plants. Be sure you're not holding your breath because that inhale, exhale helps those deep muscles around your trapezius, latissimus dorsi, pectoral muscles to activate, to stay juicy. And when you go as far as you can go, take a couple of breaths and then step back and drop your arm. And always do a little loosener, shoulder rolls. So that opens up these muscles, and it's not just the ones here. It's the ones on the back that work together. So when you move your elbow or you move from your elbow, you're activating that middle back down to about right here. And more, and more. All right, so that's another one that we can do standing. Let's do something with a chair while we're still standing. And this is a good one to do at the end, but we've done this before, so you kind of get the idea. Sorry about that sound. Walk yourself back. Just drape your arms over the back of the chair and pretend you're a table. But you're letting your head, which is the heaviest weight of your body, hang through your arms. And you'll feel your shoulder blades want to come together. So let them. So your head and your chest are dropping down towards the floor. And you'll feel that little bit of a pinch. Now relax your back, and you can do a little stretch on one side. In other words, you can shift your backside to one direction and then stretch on the other side. And you'll feel that in your mid-back as well as from your mid-back to your pelvis. So you're shifting your cheeks to one side and getting a good long lengthening stretch and opening up space between your ribs and those vertebrae. And then bend your knees, hold on to the chair, walk forward and roll up. And that is a little bit of a lengthener. So that is opening up on the side to the back when you shift your hip to one side. Sort of like when we were doing those waist-to-waist. Okay, let's go to the, well, you know, I have to say, don't forget about the lower body supporting the upper body because that's where our big muscle groups are. These are shallow muscles. These are deep muscles, but they also have a lot else going on because all our internal organs are in here. These muscles, these babies right here, There are prime movers and they support everything. And your feet so supporting. So let's do a few little plies. So feet are apart. And if you're seated, you can lift one leg at a time very slowly. Lift your heels up. My heels are way up. So you're on the balls of your feet. Align your spine, and you can do this against the wall. Go far enough apart so your knee doesn't jut out over your foot, and you're going down and up a little bit. This is not about balance. This is about loading the muscles from your belly button down to the ball of your foot. And we're going very slow and not coming all the way up because that loads the muscles more. So that's keeping all of this and the core working. So if you're doing this against a wall, your head down to your behind are touching the wall. And one more. And up just a little. Oh, let's do one more. A little lower and up a little and come all the way up. Now, your thighs may have started trembling, and that means, oh, I probably need to do those on a regular basis. Let's do that little circling around just to keep loose. So don't forget, this is going to do nothing for you if you don't have this to stand on. So it works its way up. So getting into the core for the next part, and we're going to be on the floor for the next few exercises, and you can do these in a bed. We're going to start, let me get the chair turned around here. And remember, if you're going to the floor and you need support going to the floor, it's a really good practice to be able to get down and get up. I'm not kidding you. If you have a fall of some sort and you're on the ground too long, your brain starts having an issue. Your cognitive ability. I mean, like for a few hours, because you've fallen and you can't get up. Remember that? So make your way, just practice getting down and getting up in a safe place. And if you have somebody there with you and you don't feel secure, have them stand there with you. And because you know how I am about that, fall prevention. One reason we're doing strength and balance, the main reason we're doing strength and balance is so we don't fall in the first place, but if we start to, we can catch ourselves, our ability to respond, react, and recover. And that's pretty good if you come to ageless grace, by the way. And we're strong enough to get ourselves up or figure it out, because you have to figure it out first. Don't make me get on that soapbox. All right, our next one is still for the back, and I'm going to use a pillow. I'm not going to take a nap, but I'm going to put it under my chest, or you can use that rolled up thing. And stretch out. Arms are out to the side, palms down. Then turn your arms, make a fist, and lift, and your thumb is up toward the ceiling. Lengthen your spine, and then lift by pinching your shoulder blades. Lift your arms, lift your thumbs toward the ceiling. Hold, don't hold your breath. Just hold the shoulder blades together. Pinch them together. And then let your hand go back down. Your arms are at shoulder level. And we're going to do 3, holding for a count of 10. So that's 1. Lengthen your spine. Pinch your shoulder blades, the back of your body, to lift. Hold. Pinch them. And lower. We only have 1 more. Stretch your arms out, no bent elbows. Thumb is up toward the ceiling. Lift your thumbs up higher. Stretch across your chest and pinch those shoulder blades. Don't let your arms twist around. Hold it, pinch, and lower. Woo! That was a lot of work. So go ahead and push yourself up onto all fours. Wiggle around, wiggle your tail, slide your ribs from side to side. And that one is a strengthening exercise. And then let's go on to something else on the floor. And then we'll use our relaxing. Okay. This is for the core, because the core in the front, or your abdominal muscles, when they're not strong and not doing their job, your whole body takes a hit. But your middle back does, and you may be slumped over and think you have osteoporosis, but it's those middle back muscles that are not supporting your spine. You can have osteoporosis and still be very vertical and not let your organs all squish together. So we're just going to rest here and then do a pelvic tilt. So it's like you're zipping up tight pants. Keep your chin pulled in. You're zipping up. Remember when we wore zip up pants and not ones that we just pulled on? Well, here you go. All right. Zip and do that pelvic tilt. Your heels are right in line with your sit bones. And then lower back down. So your pubic bone is coming up towards your belly button. And you can do this a little bit in a chair, but it's a little bit different. You're not coming off the floor. You're just tilting up. Keep your middle back on the floor. Rib cage is down. Everything's on the floor. And do one more. So right from your breastbone to your pubic bone, you're pulling that up to your breastbone, but you're not leaving the floor. That's a very deep muscle exercise. And that is to activate the muscles of the core. We have muscles that go this way. That's the six-pack abs. We're way past that. And then we have the ones that come around this way that allow us to bend from one side to another. Now let me check and be sure that I'm not going to get you off my... Oh, this one's tricky. Try this one. I know y'all are strong. You can do this. All right. You're going to bring your head and shoulders like they're fused together up. So you're lifting up and slide your fingers towards your knees. And then you're going to put one hand on top of the other and over here. One shoulder blade off and over here. Middle back. But your ab muscles are having to support this. Now you're keeping your arms far away from you. They're not up here. And let's do one more. And over to the other side. Come back to the center. Woo, and roll down. Now, did you notice which hand you had on top? This time you're going to have the other hand on top. So here you go. Lift your face up. Look where your hands are. Put the other hand on top. It's a diagonal ab exercise. You're just going to slide over here and then slide over here. Reach with your fingertips and slide over here a little farther towards your knee. And the last one. Oh, come on. Here it is, right there. Oh, and roll down. You may feel that all in here. That's a good thing. All right, roll over to one side and come up to sitting, and that's a proper way to come up to a sitting position. If you need to stretch your leg out for leverage, then do that. And let's do our, let's do that like you're a beagle or a pointer. Take your leg out. The heel of your hand is under your shoulders. Your knee is under your hip. Stretch out through the top of your head. If you feel you're going to wobble, then engage those muscles. So we could balance something on the back of your body around your hips and middle back, and it wouldn't slide off to one side. And switch over to the other side. This is going to take different muscles. Not tilting. Keep it long and straight. Hold it as you breathe normally. Now we've done plank, I believe. Now this time, the arm is going to come up, not the leg, but the arm is by your ear. Thumb up toward the ceiling. Stretch it out, no bent elbows. Exhale deeply, hold it, and then come down. Now notice where you start to tilt. You want to really keep that back straight. You've got fine china resting there. And reach. Looking at the floor, right at your fingertips, and then come back. Now, this is a real test. Opposite arm and leg. So keep your hips level, your shoulders level. And you may feel a little wobbly at first, the first 100 times you do this, but your muscles are learning. And then switch over to the other side. Heel of the hand under your shoulder. Arm and leg opposite. Your arm is by your ear. Thumb up. Oh, there's a wobble there. But we're going to work on this one. Ah! Engage those core muscles. Squeeze your sit bones. Squeeze your tush. And stabilize. And back. That's like a hound dog. Oh, and then wiggle around. And so we'll work on that one because that's the entire body. And if you do plank, that is a great one for all parts of your body, only if you do it properly. Okay, here we are on that foam roller, or, oh, they've got the swim noodles out at the dollar store, so, and so you could get one of those. And just let your arms go out to the side, palms up. Be sure your chin's not jutted toward the ceiling. And just let your entire body feel your belly sink in, your rib cage sink into that towel or foam roller between your shoulder blades, and your arms are outstretched. And part of that towel or whatever you're using is at the base of your skull at the occiput, those two bones. And just breathe. Let your muscles relax. And remember, like the spine of a book, a spiral binder, right down through the midline of your body. You can take an arm over, and you're going to feel the ribs and the muscles around the ribs on the side want to stretch, and that's not a bad thing. That's a range of motion. So you come right up toward the ceiling. And you could do that a few times. You could bend a knee and go over to the side to get the lower part of the spine. And just let the weight of your bones give you that stretch. Oh, I'm going to slide off this thing. And resting, just melt. You know, there's a program called the Melt program. It uses a foam roller. I like to use the balls because the surface gives you more ways to melt as opposed to this way. You can melt 360 degrees. And then roll over to the side and push yourself up. I'm shifting my leg out to get a little leverage to come up. And sitting on your sit bones. And if you're in a chair, stretch your legs out. Boy, this really makes my legs look long. And align, lift up, and walk your hands down towards your ankles. It's not about reaching your ankles and shrugging your shoulders. It's about bending at the hip. Bend your elbows out to the side. Widen your shoulder blades. Exhale. And drop your arms to the side and just let them hang over. And let your head hang. So your head weight, that 10 or so pounds of brains and bones and gushy stuff, is helping to lengthen all the way up from your sit bones, up your spine, middle back, upper back, neck. Exhale and just sink in a little more. Not forcing anything. Never, ever. And then walk your hands back up. Pubic bone, belly button, breastbone comes in, and your chin comes up last. And you have a new hairdo when you get up. Now you can do that in a chair, but hanging from the hip hinge is what we want to do. And let the upper body weight, like a sinker weight, help to lengthen those muscles along the spine. And, you know, when you get up, you can kind of do that little twist. You'll feel those muscles in the middle, and the core muscles are really active doing those ones we did today. So it all works together. Your low back, your hips, your middle back, rib cage, shoulder girdle, shoulders, and your cervical spine in the shoulders. So wiggling it all around like a worm. And those worms are really busy in my garden. All right, making your way up to standing. Notice how you have to really activate the core and these strong muscles here to support your upper body, which is kind of heavy. So coming up to standing. And if you need support, you're going to use the upper back muscles to push down through your middle back and upper back and through your feet. So the middle back is activated. And standing up nice and tall. Deep breath in and cross your arms and give yourself a pat on the back. And open those shoulder blades. Can you get your elbows on top of each other? That's so the pointy part. Let's try it the other way. Now the other arm comes on top and give yourself a pat. Oh, this one's a little harder. Open those shoulder blades. This one's harder for me, but I'm going to work on it. I'm going to release that middle back so I have all kinds of movement. Also, moving your elbow, not this part of your arm, but your elbow is going to get the middle back, the scapula, the shoulder blades, and the ones down here that come up that look like how a feather is, the latissimus dorsi, those muscles. So if you put your hand right here and you move around that elbow, the point of your elbow, you'll feel those muscles working. Do the same thing on the other side. So you have your hand here, whatever way you can have it, and then move your elbow front and back. You'll feel the bone, the scapula, and then you'll feel those muscles in the middle back, moving your elbow all around. So I have noticed in my senior classes everywhere, we tend to forget our elbows. And so when I say straighten your elbows, this is what I get. This is what it should be. When I say write with your elbow, then that's what I'm talking about. Like you have a magic marker, because we do that in Ageless Grace. Write your name. Write the alphabet. Just try that every day. Write the alphabet with this elbow, the entire alphabet. You'll have to remember the letters of the alphabet, and then write the alphabet, and you'll get a lot of upper back loosening and activation. And then give yourselves a hug and a pat on the back, because you did a great job. Next week, we're coming up to the shoulder girdle, and I hope you check out that handout. I want you to see that woman's back. You don't see her arms. You just see her spine doing this kind of thing. Oh, and isolating. So it's amazing. And you just want to watch her do this and think, how does she do that? She has great muscle tone and flexibility. And you can have even better flexibility and feel great in your body. So step in to the rest of your day. Have a good one, and I'll see you next time. All right, check it out, that handout. I'll send it to Valerie. I'm leaving.
Thank you, Sandy.
Bye, all. Take care of yourselves. Go for a walk. Beautiful day. Cool.